the trade and what it looks like in combination, because we're using some different products here for some friends. But anyways, the Thompson low back protocol for us has been huge for recovery modalities of the hip flexors, low back. So we're going to demonstrate how we do it here. Now, what you're going to need most likely are these, you see these big giant bands from Rogue Fitness. I think they're called like super monster bands or something, but I'm sure you can find them. But we've had these for a while. These are like, you know, tire belts. But anyways, you're going to get into it. You want to hang it from a rack with rails, and I'll show you why in a second. But we're going to get into it just like this here, where we loop our body right through it. It's underneath our lats to begin with. Now, I like to start with the upside down hang first. And we'll try to get it as low as possible on the back toward the belt line. I'll walk it through, and it's not on my belt line yet. You can see there's some space there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of wiggle into it. So I'll turn to the side and push. And you can see it's gradually pulling up my hips. From here, I'll let it pull me. I don't know if you can hear me still on that. Try to free up the mic. And you could just hang out there for however long. There's also kind of moving the hips in the frontal plane there, up and down, to help traction around that QL. You can see the bands compressing right on my groin, where the hip flexors kind of are, around the top of the glutes. So you're getting some pressure, some occlusion from that. Next, you can go here, butterfly. Kind of feels good like a butterfly stretch. So this one you would kind of squeeze your glutes through. And then close the legs. The band does provide some resistance, but you can get that nice pressure in the adductor muscles. Good. So I'll finish with a little hang, circle in the hips, both directions. You can go for however long you want. Probably about 5 minutes is decent. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go vertically again. I'm going to walk myself out. I'm going to let it slide right up my lat. So now I'm getting kind of a pull up instead of from my hips. I'm getting it from my shoulders. So you can see the bands compressing on my lats a little bit. Feels pretty good. I can have my hands like this. And if I want a little extra, I'll have my partner right here. He's going to grab for me, the 80-pound tempering bar, also from Rogue, the DT tempering. Again, this protocol is from Thompson.
In the front.
But if you're going to play hard, you're going to recover hard. Yep. So she's going to she can go anywhere she wants in here. She's going to just put it across my hips. I'll roll it down my quads, and so now that's pinning my hips down. You can see I'm getting a pull from the band.
Good for the
old man. Like
man.
my spine is completely elongating here. You can think of it as, I guess, loaded yoga.
Loaded yoga, yeah.
For the hard training athlete, meathead, whatever.
Or for the old guy that can't move.
Yeah, I know. Just trying to move as best I can with what I got, guys. And nice. I can kind of play around with the lats there. And then when I'm done,
flip it over.
I'm going to stand it up, make sure it's out of the way. Now, this is important, how you get off, because if not, you will give yourself a wedgie, or pants may come flying off. You don't want either of those. So I'll walk up, get straight, and I'll walk right through.
Cool.
Oh, I feel about a foot taller.
Taller.
Anyways, I'm going to have Evie go next. All right, so now we have Evie hopping in. And we're going to she's going to put it over her shoulders, reach her arms through, to step on the other side of the rack, or in this case, she put it down to her low back, step on the other side here. Good, and then she's going to wiggle into it. Again, she's going to turn to the side, whatever hip is top side. She's going to just push that band down. It's good to have clothing, too, that slides. The band slides a little bit easier. Now, very important here, when she lays back, she's going to let it go. Her legs are come outside of the band. If they come inside, she'll flip over on her head. Not good. So anyways, she's going to V out. And right here, she can pretty much do any movement she wants to do. I showed some pretty basic stuff. You see here, she's adding a twist, little turn, kind of getting those nooks and crannies of the hips. Now, I'll contextualize this, and Evie's a softball player. So if we look at, that batting stance or that throwing stance, those hips rotate not only at the dumbbell pelvic side, but around each hip joint.
It's pretty fun.
Yep. There you go. So little fast twist there. As we were talking before, sometimes, you know, when we train and we compress, a lot of pressure, play, a lot of pressure on the joints. Sometimes it takes pressure in the opposite direction to undo that compressive pressure. This is a way we can do it with the Thompson low back protocols, and you can kind of free form here. You see here she's compressing the adductors, going in and out with a butterfly style stretch, tilting the pelvis in different directions will help realign it as well. And the band itself causes some compression on those tissues. In this case, it's QL, TFL, glute medius, adductors, all stuff that, you know, physical therapist types are always, you know, having to deal with, and massage therapists are always having to get untight. Okay, now Evie's going to come back up, top side, and she's going to compress the lats here with the band, so it's pulling her up from the shoulders. We're going to take this to another level and add that bar as we did.
This way?
No, you're good.
Okay. Yeah.
50-pound DT tempering roller right across the hips. Put it on her quads, let it roll down right into the hips, and then boom. So again, now she's got some weight pulling her down from the hips, also some compression there on the hip flexors and abs, upper part of the quads. You can see she is pulling the elbows in toward each other, a la pec fly, getting that compression in her serratus, those tendinous attachments of the rotator cuff, rear delt, and she's letting that spine elongate. So when you're doing all of those things, again, we like a lot of stuff that gives us a shotgun effect. And Evie can hang out there as long as she can tolerate it, as long as she wants.
All right.
She's a tough cookie. She can go as, you know, forever.
Uh-huh.
All right, we're going to take this guy off. Boom. Very important here, as she comes off, she's going to stand up and then walk forward.
Yep.
So she doesn't get yanked in the wrong direction.
Oh, feel a lot better.
So yeah, that's
good.
the Thompson low back protocol with the Rogue bands. Also the DT body tempering rollers from Rogue.
Yep.
And as Evie likes to say,
Work hard always, but
we
now
recover hard always as well.
recover and work hard always.